Hi, I'm voice and audition coach Jessica Neighbor, and we are going to talk about your February college audition timeline. So this is going to be really useful for you performers who are going out for performing arts college degrees in theater, musical theater, or vocal performance, and you have done auditions and you're in the thick of doing them, and perhaps you have a few more this month of February. These are the key things you want to do to really succeed at your college audition. So I'm going to teach you 3 things today that are must-knows, and these are the same things that I teach to all of my performance clients who I work with. I've been an audition coach for 20 years. My performers have gotten into incredible programs, including UCLA, USC, Princeton, Berklee School of Music, and NYU Tisch for theater, musical theater, and vocal performance. So this is going to work for you as well. It's tried and true, and you do need to know these things. So I want to give you one heads up. This is step 1 to pace yourself, because fatigue and burnout is real in this marathon. And right about February is where we start seeing some of our performers start to fall off and lose a little steam. And that's usually due to a couple of reasons. You might only have 1 or 2 more auditions happening this month, and you've done the bulk of them in January. And so you're tired, you're a little worn out. Or you might already be getting some acceptances or rejections. And so you're already kind of figuring out things, but I want you to keep your eye on the prize, on the long view, because you want to give your best shot to these last few auditions. So definitely do pace yourself this month. This is a tricky time, and I've seen it throughout many years. Number 2 is I want you to be really mindful of how many people you are sharing about all these auditions and this process, because all those people who you're sharing this with are going to start knocking at your door and texting you and asking you, did you get in? Where'd you get in? What's happening? And especially other performance colleagues who are waiting to hear too. You're all going to be like, sharing information. Did you find out? Did you find out? Did you find out? Some of this is helpful. Some of this is really nerve-wracking and can actually cause a lot of stress. And if you're in the middle of still auditioning, you don't want this stress. So be mindful about who you're sharing this with, and you can always use this script with your parents, your siblings, your best friend, and which is to say, look, I know you've really been there for me throughout this process, but can you stop asking me, because it's actually causing me stress. I'm feeling stressed right now, and just know that as soon as I find out any good news, I'll be sure to share it with you. Right? That's loving, it's really positive, but it's also giving them a clear sign to back off, please. This is not helping me. And the final takeaway, you guys, that I think is so crucial, and not enough performers going out for college auditions do this, is to document, record your audition growth through this process. You want to sit down and you want to write out each audition process and what you learned from that. It is like no other time in your life. This is such a condensed, intense time to audition. But if you don't record it right now, I guarantee it, you're going to lose track of it. I think back to when I was auditioning for theater, and I can't remember which was NYU and which was UCLA and which was all these places, which I did get into, fortunately, and I wound up choosing UCLA. But I really wish I had taken the time to really write out what my experience was like, because it's going to serve you for all of your future auditions. You are now at the professional level of auditioning. So you better believe that once you get into one of these incredible programs, you're going to continue to have to audition while you're there the whole time, and onwards in professional, auditions. All of the things that you're doing right now are making your audition muscle so much stronger, but we want to learn from them. So you want to ask yourself a few key things, which was, what was I the most worried about before my auditions? How did I best prepare? What were some surprises? With 2020, retro vision, what would I have done differently? And then you're going to either journal this, record this, do a voice memo of this, and then you will have that. I actually record all my performers, and then I give them a bonus gift at the end of their training so that they have this and they can double down on their lessons that they learned, rinse and repeat, and use these for all of their future auditions. So I highly recommend you do the same thing while all of this is still super fresh in your memory. All right, well, break a leg. I'm rooting for you. Do stay tuned for March, the next timeline, because we're going to really dive into getting in and not getting into schools and what that can do to us emotionally, and how we also are going to handle that with our peers, and how we're going to frankly handle that with the colleges themselves. So do stay tuned for next month's timeline. I have lots of resources below if you need any more support from me. I also have a book that you can buy on Amazon, How to Succeed at Your Next Audition, and you can join me in my college audition course online if you want even more support from me. All right, you guys, I'm rooting for you. Break a leg, and until next time, take care.